Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Dubai Sevens. This one an absolutely huge game. Fiji taking on South Africa. It is a top of the table clash in what has been an absolutely brutal pool. So far, we have seen some close games. South Africa getting the win over France by 3. Fiji getting the win over Argentina by 7 after they were down by the 12 points. So they will be hoping to get that next big jump upwards and take a step in the right direction. In the competition, looking through at the starting lineups for the South Africans, it is Zane Davids, Impie Visa, Donovan Don, Shilton Van Wyk, Selvin Davids, Ronald Brown, and also Ryan Oosthuizen. So a little bit of a switch compared to what we did see in the first match, but still going with someone like a Christy Robela to make his way off the bench here. For the Fijians, it is Josefa Talatholo, Sebo Mothanothangi, Jeremiah Matana, Filippo Bokayaro, Vuiviwa Nadovalo coming off 2 tries in his last fixture, George Balsi, and also Waisia Natungu, the last man in the starting side. But this is a part of Pool A. Also in this group, France and Argentina. So there are no easy games. And I just feel like this one's going to be close. My original score prediction was 17 points to 12. And I don't think that's going to be a mile off. I could see this one easily going either way in this contest. But do let me know, of course, what your score predictions are for this game. We have got the aware of the box in the pool now. Hamish, top. Oh, we passed that. So currently they are second in the pool. Fiji are just a little bit ahead of them. But this game is going to determine more than likely who finishes number 1 in the group. Hi Kiwi, I'm watching from South Africa, says Darius, and it is greatly appreciated. You've been here for this game. I came to watch you, says Mohadin. And of course, after this game, we're going straight back over to that Lions versus Bulls matchup. It is going to be George Selwood in charge of this game, his 81st game. Good afternoon, thanks for the commentary, much appreciated, says Helene, no worries at all. And yeah, this just seemed like too big of a game to miss with these two sides going head-to-head. Whoever wins this game, like I said, will more than likely walk away from this group at the top of the table, although there is still time for whoever loses this game to get that little bit of a demotion downwards. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see exactly how it goes, but it's kicked off by Fiji and we are underway in this contest. Selvin Davids goes up for the ball and he has claimed it nicely. Now, South Africa had a few handling errors in the game up against the French. They did struggle early on, but their defence was absolutely phenomenal. And from South Africa, says Etanet in there as well. Now, currently ball in hand of the Blitzboks. They are 22 metres out from their own line. Skip pass on the outside. Finds the hands of Christy Robela, cutting through George Balsi. Started the day with headgear, decided straight away that was not going to be what he was going to finish the day with. Impivisa going across to the right-hand side, bit of space here for South Africa down the wing. Great step from Donovan on, big fend. Offload to Shilton Van Wyk. Tries the offload again. They're a little bit risky from South Africa, and perhaps just falling into the way that Fiji play a little bit early on. I've just realised the scoreboard isn't up on the screen. There we go. We will go like that. And now raking through the line. He almost made me have to update it. Selvin Davids, ball on the outside. Christy Robela. Now, initially, he wasn't going to be in the starting lineup, so he has made his way on. I want to say it's for Zane Davids. Bit of pressure there on Shilton Van Wyk in the breakdown. It's a little bit fumbly there for South Africa, but straight through the gap. Ronald Brown scores it in the corner, and South Africa take the lead in this contest. That's a good try to have, although South Africa are yet to get themselves a conversion in this competition. What we're going to do is we're going to go 2 minutes into this contest. We have got a different scoreboard to normal. But hopefully it does behave itself throughout this. We have got there, can we also see your screen? Sadly, any match footage or audio would get us taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike. So we can only do the play-by-play commentary, but this is going to be kicked by Selvin Davids. Decent distance, not quite the accuracy. Away to the left-hand side, and the score remains 5-0 in favour of South Africa. Now, this is a great start to the contest and exactly what the Blitzboks would have been after. You have to try and suck the wind out of the sails of the Fijians early. The thing is as well, though, like, this is one of the ones, at least it seems, that's shaping up a little bit similar to Fiji's last match. That was a very long sentence that I never quite got out. But yeah, Fiji were down 12-0 in their game up against South Africa, up against Argentina. So that means that they are no way out of this game. In fact, they love a counter-attack as soon as the opposition score, and just like that, Josefa Talatholo breaking through the middle. And that is going to be the try now. Josefa Talatholo, please, says Uriah. You may be able to find it on the World Rugby website, or at least the Sevens website, They will show you your best options for being able to watch. But yeah, if I showed any footage, we'd be off YouTube within about 10 seconds and banned for 3 months. Which would be rather unfortunate because the Sevens is well and truly in this full swing of things. Dubai this week, Cape Town the next, but that's a good fin from Josefa Talatholo, using his size to get through Donovan Don. And then just charges toward the try line, the big Fijian winger, to be able to score the try. One of the more experienced heads in this Fijian team as well, scoring at a crucial time that gives the Fijians the lead in this matchup. And, or at least it should have. Oh yeah, the conversion has gone over. I was confused for a second how they didn't get one over from 5 metres out, but it has been awarded. And now Fiji taking the lead. Kicked off. Nicely taken by Ronald Brown. In fact, that time it was Donovan Don. Almost a little bit of a collision in the air, but George Selwood says play on. South Africa in position. 30 metres out from the line. Big wide cut out pass to Ronald Brown. He was looking up rather than looking at the ball. He has made that little bit of a mistake there. That does now give Fiji the scrum opportunity. Just the 3 minutes remaining in the half. I'm going to go like this and like that. There we go. We will keep that scoreboard ticking over. 4 minutes through this one. Dedication at 1 a.m. says Charles. We've got plenty more coming as well. We've got that URC versus Lions, Bulls versus Lions game that we are going back to. And then also covering South Africa with Wales, their contest with an hour build-up as well. And then after that, I'm going to be covering Munster versus the Stormers. So plenty more taking place in the near future. But Filippo Bucayaro does flick it out the back door. Selvin Davids was right on him trying to put the pressure on, but Fiji just jogging sideways, looping around. Beautiful play here to George Balsi. In fact, it's going to be Vuiviwa Nadovalo. That man scored 2 tries in the first contest for the Fijians. Natungu gets it to ground. Now George Balsi thought about it on the short side, instead firing it back across to the right. Jeremiah Matana, the captain, offloads up to Josefa Talatholo. Now back across to the left-hand side. So physical, these two sides, and they are always going to be putting in those big hits. George Balsi goes across to Vuiviwa Nadovalo, chopped down by Balsi, gets the offload. Trying to fight with Donovan Don and make a couple extra metres if he can. Almost got to turn into a rolling move. Vuiviwa Nadovalo again going off to the right-hand side. South Africa showing off that defence that they had in their first game up against the French, but the Fijians have a much better offloading game than we did see from France. Ball sits up. Good forward momentum for Vuiviwa Nadovalo. Offload to Balsi. Gets a little bit isolated, but ball is still available there, and the penalty goes the way of the Fijians, not rolling away against South Africa. Vuiviwa Nadovalo takes the quick tap. Boulevard Akta, bro. Says, Akta, welcome in. Hope you're doing extremely well. Another step there from Fiji. That was almost a foot trip from Zane Davids. I'm not sure what they're going to rule that as. 2 men just losing their balances, but it was a collision of shins. Now Vuiviwa Nadovalo, another step running into his teammate. Offloads now to Waisia Natungu. This has been about a 2-minute attack here from Fiji, but they haven't been able to bust through this defence. Sevo Mothorofangi looks for the offload, kicks it back. Fiji have the ball again on the halfway line. That was almost South Africa's chance to get themselves the turnover. It's been good handling and also good phase play from the Fijians with 1 minute remaining in the first half. George Balsi hit hard by South Africa. And the thing is, this won't win the game per se, but it will certainly take up a lot of time throughout the fixture. And now Fiji get through. And it's Filippo Bucayaro who does score it between the posts. That is a very impressive try from Fiji. It was brilliant defence from the South Africans too, but eventually managing to bust his way through and scores the try now for the Fijians. And it's just a one-handed offloading game as well. That does make things so difficult. The Bulls 10-0 up against the Lions. The Lions doing a very good start this match by the looks of it. So yeah, thoroughly impressive. But Bucayaro scores the try. Let's go, says Krish. And that is a massive try for the Fijians. As now, because of that missed kick from South Africa, they actually lead this game by the 9 points, which is a pretty big one. Now ready for the kickoff. And Fiji kicking it just that 10 metres, looking to retain the ball. Oh, Selvin Davids actually thrown at the Fijian defender. That was a bit of an interesting one, but it is close to the halftime break. All Black Sevens are through to the semis, even if they lose their game versus Spain. I haven't done the maths as of yet, but if they beat Australia and they beat Great Britain, then they should be guaranteed, I believe. Just like whoever wins this game. Now, looking short side. Ronald Brown, that's going to be accidental offside from Josefa Talatholo. A little bit of afters there as well. It looks like there might be an injury here. Just went on the Kiwi Lads commentary for the Bulls versus Lions. So I heard a very strange Hamish. Says Joss, but yeah, we are going to be popping back over to that live stream as soon as this match ends. Looks like Shilton Van Wyk. What happens here? He stays down. How high was it? Okay, he got him round the chest for a start there for Shilton Van Wyk and then just got the ear completely knocked out of him. And the driving tackle from Josefa Talatholo. We have good morning, Hamish. You're going to have a full day. Great to connect again from Harrismith, South Africa. Yeah, there's so much rugby going on today. The Sevens, the URC, the international game between South Africa and Wales too. Just showing it there, that tackle made by Josefa Talatholo. If you voted South Africa, you're wrong. Says Vu there. And now it is going to be the scrum feed for the South Africans. They were relatively comfortable for a majority of that game up against the French. I don't believe there was a time that they were down by 9. Is the scoreboard guy asleep or what? Are they off on Sunday, says Katzenell? So for the Sevens now, because it's only limited to 8 sides, they don't actually do the automatic scoreboard anymore. So I am on the ticking over of it. Down the bottom, big fend there from Donovan Don. Up to the halfway line, another penalty awarded to South Africa for a high tackle. That one goes against Waisea Natungu. Now, South Africa have a decision to make. They're currently 1 minute past the halftime break. Does seem like it's going to be a relatively long one. We see that stepping from Donovan Don and then tackled just a little bit too high. The arm of Natungu. South Africa have decided to call for the scrum here. Last 3 penalties have been 2 against the Fijians. 1 against South Africa as a halftime yet. Not yet. We're currently 1 minute 30 past the halftime break. And these two are still going. Please remind me of the upcoming scheduled games. So we are doing the second half of Lions versus Bulls. Continuing on that live stream that has already started. Alongside that, we are also going to be doing the South Africa versus Wales game with an hour build-up. Donovan Non, another fend down the wing. Vuiviwa Nadovalo trying to wrestle him into touch. And can't quite do it. 2 minutes past the halftime break now. Christy Hrobala in the middle of the field. But then after that, I've got Munster versus Storm. It's another offload. Nice hand from MPVs. It goes to Selvin Davids. Ball on the inside to Ronald Brown. That's a great tackle made again by Jeremiah Matana this time. Fiji get the turnover in the breakdown and they win the penalty as well. What is wrong with the South African selectors? Your players appear to be sluggish, slow. If you know sprinters, you win sevens on speed and not muscle. Says unbiased. Oh, and Fiji just decide to kick this ball into touch, so it will be halftime now, 14 points to 5. But yeah, it seems like a lot of the pace is going to be off that bench. The likes of Ricardo James Duarte, Tristan Lades, and Lovu as well. But someone like a Shilton Van Wyk, normally pretty speedy, but they've been able to shut him down well throughout this contest. And trying to match the power game of Fiji is always tough. Did France play? Says Katzenell. They have played, yes. So what we have seen so far, 1 second, I'll have a quick look. France, they lost to South Africa. They then play up against Argentina next. But the French women's side, they have played 2 games, I believe, at this point in time. But second half, not a mile away from taking place. So we will see a few subs being made for these two sides. When is Fiji's third game? Their third game that they are playing. 1 second. I will get it up and have another look here. Where are we? Third game for the Fijians. It is kicking off at 5:12 a.m. New Zealand time up against the French. So we won't be covering that game specifically, but we'll be providing updates during the South Africa versus Wales Rugby Union matchup. We'll be giving updates of the Sevens and everything that is happening along the way as well. But second half of this contest just about to take place. I see that at the moment the Lions are doing extremely well up against the Bulls, by the way. They are up 17-0 in that contest, which is absolutely huge for the side away from home. But second half just about to start up in this contest. I feel like there's still a late tail in the tape. My prediction for the score was 17 points to 12. 15-0, says Stephanie, so they must have missed the kick then. I may have given them too much credit. 9 minutes away from that Argentina versus France kickoff in the Sevens. Now almost ready to go for the second half of this one. Only 7 minutes remaining in this fixture. Whoever wins this game is guaranteed in the semi-finals, and they will be more than likely going head-to-head, I believe, with the Australians at the way that it sits. Told you the Lions and surprised the Bulls at Loftus before. How well are they playing at Sevens pace, says Katsanel. Yeah, it's definitely a strange one with how one-sided that game is just for now. Although it doesn't mean that the Bulls can't fire back. That is one good thing about that match. But that one's going to go into touch, and it will be the ball of the South Africans just outside of Fiji's 22. So a bit of a rough kickoff there. Not quite getting it right in terms of the catching for the Fijians. Box not kicking well. Could bite them in the butt. Yeah, they have so far gone 0 from 4 off the kicking tee in this competition, which is much lower than we are used to seeing for the Blitzboks. The good news is they score plenty of tries normally. That one's going to be nicely thrown into MPVs, now Ronald Brown back across to the left-hand side. We have seen late South African comebacks up against the Fijians before, but the thing is, if they were to score now, it wouldn't even be that late. In the contest, there's going to be another penalty for a high shot from Fiji. That's about the third or fourth in a row. They have to be very careful not to go to the bin. Ronald Brown sounds the dummy. 5 metre shorter line. Fiji straight in the breakdown. Brilliant bit of work there from the flying Fijians. It was Halipo Bukayaro that just shut down the best attacking chance of South Africa in the last about 5 minutes of this contest. So the format changed again. It has indeed. Yeah, only 8 sides now in the men's 7. So 2 groups of 4. Top 2 go through to the semi-finals. The other sides go through to the 5th place playoff games. So there's now no Kenya, no Samoa, no USA. So plenty of great sides that are missing out in that regard. But that was a brilliant tackle from George Balsey. Then got right out of the breakdown as quickly as he could to give the opportunity for the potential steal. Okay, no, it is 17-0 in that game between the Lions and the Bulls, I do see now. Fiji were the top offloading team last season, averaging 6.5 per game. As a Shark supporter, I'm saying go the Lions. Yeah, they are certainly going in that first half. They've been having a very good start to the match. Ball's going to be thrown in, nicely taken by Fiji on their own 22. Filippo Bukayaro, also an advantage in favour of Fiji. George Balsey thought about the offload. No, they are going to go back for the initial penalty. South Africa were offside. 5 minutes remaining on the clock, and if the Blitzboks want to get back into this contest, because they are down by more than a converted try, they will need one in the near future. But the benefit is they can still get a 3-pointer that then would put them in the lead if they were to score next. Fiji will just look to play a little bit of territory here, get inside a South Africa's half and just don't let them go. Saw Fiji consistently holding on to the ball for at least a couple minutes in that first half as well. But the South African side, a comeback of 9 points is considered as a light one for them when they are playing well. They just haven't played well yet. Next game's going to be up against Argentina as well, so that is certainly a tough test for this box team. Nicely thrown in, going off to the left-hand side, Filippo Bukayaro. Now thought about the offload there. Fiji, they're running straight sideways and thought for a second it was going to be a penalty for obstruction, but they have now got the ball around the halfway line. George Balsey and a big collision. It seems like at the moment South Africa are just lacking that one big turnover that they would normally get in a contest, and I feel like that is down to Fiji's offloading game. That's a tip tackle, although I think he jumped into it, Talatholo, so they may say that it is just play on now. George Balsey just jogging, going to Natungu, passing back across. Fiji losing a lot of meters, now going for the kick, cross kick perfectly into the hands of the winger. Talatholo offload on the inside. That is some Fijian flair and some brilliance from the backs, and Jeremiah Matana, he will be able to run it round and score the try. Another one for Fiji as they now take a prominent lead in this match up against the South Africans. And again, making it an easy kick, which cannot be understated enough or overstated enough, because it does just make it so much easier for the guy to add the additional 2. But that is now try number 3 for the Fijians. 21 points to 5 leading here. I wonder whether or not South Africa, they should still have at least one more try in them, but it's that missed kick at the start that now means that if they were to score 2 converted tries, they would not come back into this game. They would be down by 2. Now we're about to see a game that is extended or outside of a 7-point margin. We haven't had a huge amount of them throughout the men's 7s as of yet, as we see an Emirates flyover from a big aeroplane. Now kicked off again by Fiji, looking to retain it. They slap the ball back, and they have got the possession back once more, the Fijians. George Balsey offloads on the outside. Little Salah the dummy, still breaking forward, looking for an offload off the bounce. George Balsey round the back pass. Fiji are now getting extremely confident. Matana, ball on the outside. Talatholo, one more pass, and it's a drop ball from Fiji out wide, just not quite able to bring it back in for Vunaki there. South Africa, they have 2.5 minutes to go the full length of the field. David Brits, big bump off, but again, great defence from Fiji. Not really confident for the Sharks to beat Connacht this evening. See his swept there. It'll be intriguing to see how they go. I know that they are underdogs. Ball on the outside and miss pass. South Africa just popping that one into touch. I believe it was Xander Rangde who went for the pass. And now it will be the line out for Fiji. Just the 2 minutes now remaining on the clock. And you would have to say this game is all but won for the Flying Fijians with a statement victory. And this is where they really want to stop South Africa from getting the additional about probably 5 points here. The last thing that they want is South Africa. In fact, they need more than that. They need 8 points to get within the 7. Or 9 points. There we go. We got the maths in the end. Fiji cooking. Yeah, they've had a phenomenal game here. They've come into this competition with a real determination. That was just the worst thing that we have seen from Fiji. It was Jeremiah Matana getting hit in the back of the head with the ball in the line out because he wasn't expecting it. But the penalty does go the way of Fiji with just 100 seconds remaining now on the clock. The Bulls, I do see, have just scored themselves a try too. And Bulls scored a try. Who got it? Pleasant tease, do let me know. And also, Fiji got to be top 3 in the men's sevens. They always are, the Fijians. Even in the seasons where they have struggled and haven't got gold medals to their name, they have still been able to finish top 3 just because of their consistency of high performance and getting themselves bronze finals, getting through to the final and whatnot. But they went through a patch where it was the longest time ever that a Fijian side hadn't won an event. And another advantage in favour of Fiji. Beautiful offload. Taria Vailawa sells the dummy. He goes through. Fiji have their 4th. They're on fire in this contest. And a nice offload there, giving it into the hands of the 15 Narongo, who now gets his first try for the Fijians. And it's the first of his whole career as well. And again, between the posts, Fiji have been learning. There have been a few sides that have struggled off the kicking there. They might struggle in rugby, but they sure do love their sevens. There's Vu there. I remember when Fiji lost 4 finals in a row, all South Africa, or all 4 to South Africa, says Krish. And that one does now secure this game well and truly. Just another 20 seconds remaining on the clock. So South Africa can't get themselves a bonus point from this game, and now they have to beat Argentina. If they don't win up against the Argentines, they will be knocked out of this competition already. There's no chance of going through as a third group qualifier, as that is no longer the format that we have got in the 7 setup. That is a nice take from Ricardo James Duarte in the breakdown. Fiji get themselves another penalty. They've been relentless throughout this game and now taking the quick dip. Taria Vailawa trying to get the fend in. We'll mention South Africa's next game up against Argentina is taking place in just under 4 hours' time. We will be covering that one on the channel too. Hello there, love the Fiji Sevens. I was confused when I joined the other live, says Padza. Yeah, we are popping over back onto that stream to continue the commentary as soon as this game comes to a close. But this one was just a must-see type of game. But now going back across. Fiji still looking for more offloads, all giving the ball away to David Brits. And now they'll have an opportunity to look for one last try here, South Africa. And South Africa is getting fried. Says Chris, is Pal still the Blitzboks coach? If not, we need him back. He is not at the moment. No, he is with the Sharks at the moment. And a coaching role. Now Ricardo James Duarte. That is a huge shot on him around the halfway line. Neither of these sides want this game to end. By the looks of it, they are still going 1 minute after the full-time siren. Now passed on the, that was a no-arms tackle there from Vunaki. And they may even check that one. It's going to be offloaded. Xander Rangde going to go in, or at least try to get close, but he's dragged down again, 10 metres out from the line. Great defence from Fiji, ripping him to the turf, looking for the turnover in the breakdown. Ricardo James Duarte has 3 players who are going for him. Another penalty goes the way of South Africa. What's your scheduled time for tomorrow? So we are going to be doing the playoff games. That's passed out wide. Tristan Lade scores it. But yeah, all the live streams for today we have already got scheduled. So we've got the URC coming up for the second half. And after that, we are also going to be popping in for Wales, South Africa, and then Munster versus the Stormers. Yeah, this is a dirty tackle from Vunaki, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets himself carded by that one. But then tomorrow we are going to be doing the semi-finals, going to be doing as many of the Sevens games as I can all throughout the night, but I'll get them scheduled once we know exactly who's through. But plenty of Sevens coming up in the near future. Just lining up this kick here for South Africa. Tristan Lades, he has actually missed it. So that is going to end this game 28 points to 10 in favour of the Fijians. That is a statement victory over a South African side that did look very strong in their first contest. But what we will be doing now is we will be popping back to that Bulls versus Lions game, which sounds like it is getting closer, currently sitting 12 points to 17. So we'll be popping back over, so be sure to join us on that live stream, and I will see you all for the next one.